Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Master Detective Archives Rain Code. In the last episode we began our deep dive into the depths of what will most likely be the final mystery labyrinth of our adventures through the doomy and gloomy, rain-filled world of Kanai Ward, armed with more than enough proof to take down the likes of Makoto and his absolutely evil plans. Now that he has full control over Amaterasu Corporation, as well as Kanai Ward, the main problem is, even if we do take Makoto out of the picture, Kanai Ward will have no possible chance to return to the way it was before the Blank Week mystery, since we learned the ultimate truth once we turned off the rain-making machine, that every single person in Kanai Ward currently cannot be in the sun, since the sun will kill defective homunculuses and enrage ones who have died and revived at least once. The only thing is, if all of this is true, why were the residents even replaced in the very first place? Since that seems like there's a major flaw in that, because why would it happen in the first place? And that's really the biggest question, honestly, because we could definitely tell they were replaced. There's more than enough proof that proves it without the game strictly telling us, since they've given us pretty much everything we need to know, with just because of the rainmaking thing, and just in general. But it definitely is strange, and that and the blood test as well, that's another major factor. But honestly, with everything going on, there's quite a lot of crazy things that can definitely change the course here. The only thing is even if we do take out Makoto, like, that doesn't change anything, because I don't think we can bring them back the way they were, so, because they're technically not them, even though they have their memories and stuff like that, so it's like, it's definitely going to be iffy on what ends up happening here for sure. But honestly, before we get into our next part of our investigation, I think it's about time we finally finish the Gumshoe Gabs, since we only have 2 left, and those are just for Fubuki, so honestly, let's get those finished, and then we'll be fully focusing on the rest of the Mystery Labyrinth from here on out, in the chapter, for the last chapter of the story from here on out as well, just in general. I'm definitely curious on how Fubuki's ends, because we kind of left hers for last on accident, even though I didn't do that on purpose.
Hey Fubuki, there's something I've always wanted to ask you.
What is that, Yuma?
Yes, what is it? I would tell you anything, Yuma, even the password to my bank account.
Probably not the smartest idea to say that, but okay.
No, I don't need your password, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't think Yuma needs that information. Well, maybe to get Halara the money that she needs, but Yuma wouldn't do that for sure.
I'd like to know more about the Clockford family.
Honestly, yeah, I kind of am curious about them too. We kind of barely glossed over her family, so I am kind of curious on what they are exactly too.
You've mentioned them before, but I still don't quite get it.
What do you not get, Yuma?
I see. So you wish to learn more about my family.
It would be at least nice to know a little bit more about Fubuki for sure. Because, you know, they say that, you know, she's royalty of some sort, so it's gotta be something interesting at least.
I do not mind. I will tell you everything I know.
Okay, well, that was easy.
But first, how much do you already know about them?
Not much.
What I know about your family is...
We know that your power is passed down from them. That's pretty much it. Manage the world. Oh yeah, that too. Manage the world's standard time. What other options do we have? Oversee the world's longitudes and latitudes. Manages the official history of the world. We know that they manage the world's standard time. Fubuki told us that.
Of keeping the world's standard for time.
Yep, that is indeed what you said.
Yes, that is a correct assessment.
Okay, well, that's definitely a start.
What does that entail anyway?
checking the times to make sure everything's right.
I can barely comprehend something on such a scale.
Well, to be fair, they have control over time, because Fubuki's power is not just her own. So, yeah, they definitely have the ability to easily, rectify time and know exactly what time it really is.
How should I explain it?
How should you explain it, indeed?
For example, it is exactly like deciding to call an apple an apple. Does that make it easier to understand?
Not really. That's not really... I guess it's as simple as something being what it is, I guess is basically what you're trying to say, but that's an interesting way to say it.
No, now I'm even more confused.
Oh, really? Let me try to explain it another way then.
Okay, what's your second
To
explanation?
manage the world's standard of time means...
Means what?
we manage what year, what month, what day, what minute, and what second it currently is on Earth.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Do you work off 24-hour clocks as well as 12-hour clocks, though? Or is it just, in general, just all clocks?
As an extreme example, so long as the Clockwork family dictates it, we could move the date 10 years ahead or back.
Really? That's, interesting.
That's quite a powerful privilege to have.
That is kind of interesting. So, no matter what, they can, if they feel like the time is wrong, they can change it slightly to fix the timing of everything. That's kind of cool.
Indeed. It means we could make everyone in the world feel older or younger.
I don't think that's exactly how that works, but, sure.
Although they are just numbers on paper.
Yeah, I don't think that literally makes them younger or older.
That's incredible. I can barely follow along.
I don't know, that sounded kind of simple. They could change the time on paper. So, legally, things are the time and day that they say they are. That's kind of simple.
Wouldn't it be possible to mess up the whole world by abusing such power?
I guess you could, but I don't think it really would matter that much. Because I think more than one person would be keeping an eye on time, so if the Clockfords were to mess up at one point, they could easily rectify it pretty easily.
Indeed. We could tear it apart, chew it up, and spit it right out.
Well, that's not good to hear.
But the Clockford family would not do such a thing.
Okay, well, that's better to hear, after what you just said.
We protect the world's time to ensure that never happens.
Okay, well, cool.
Protecting the world's time. Sounds like a daunting challenge.
It sounds kind of hard, yeah, I would definitely say, because you'd have to keep a good eye on it to know exactly what time and second it is.
Yes, it is indeed a heavy responsibility for my family, if I do say so myself. Even 100 elephants would be considered lighter.
100 elements, you say? Okay, well, if you say so.
Your family is tasked with such an important responsibility. I'm surprised they let their daughter join the WDO.
Well, we do know that she was locked inside the house for way too long, and they kind of just kicked her out to make sure she actually sees the world, for what Fubuki was saying.
Even if it's to help you learn more about society, it's far too dangerous.
I don't think it's that dangerous.
Yes, you are right about that.
Okay.
Although I have not been told officially, my parents do consider me the next head of the family.
So there is other parts of her family at the Clockford estate. Okay. But, they don't need her strictly there if something does go wrong, because there is somebody else to be there if something does happen. Okay.
Permitting the successor to join the WDO would certainly be nothing short of insanity.
If you say so.
Oh, so you think so too?
I do. But alas, I had no choice.
No choice, you say?
You know how I can be a bit of an airhead at times?
I'm surprised you're admitting to that one, honestly. But, yeah, sometimes she can be, for sure.
She's an airhead all the time.
Not all the time. She does have her smart moments, for sure.
Yeah, maybe from time to time.
They said they could not entrust the world's time to a daughter who is so ignorant.
Well, fair, honestly. Because she could walk off randomly at one point and the time would just get messed up, and if that's the case, well, because of how important that job is, it would definitely be terrible if she messes up like that. So I can see where it comes from, at least.
They would rather send me to the outside world to survive on my own than keep me blind to reality.
Okay.
Which is why my parents made the difficult decision of enrolling me in the WDO.
Wow.
That is quite a lot of information, that's for sure.
It was to be expected.
Expected.
The continuation of the Clockford family is more important to the world than my own life.
Okay then. Kinda dark way of saying it, but okay.
She said it so casually.
Yeah, she kinda did.
I'm sure Fubuki has experienced so much as the daughter of the Clockford family.
Yeah, probably true.
She must have been exposed to many things regular people couldn't even imagine.
True, we do know what she did when she was doing her adventuring thing. Went to the Amazon and ended up hanging out with the tribes there, getting caught, and then also comparing it to a supermarket, so... Yeah, definitely, she has been exposed to quite a lot of things since then, for sure.
Still, my mother and father were right.
Right to send you off?
What?
I learned numerous things about society after joining the WDO. I have already grown far past who I once was.
Yeah, that would make sense, because you learned a lot more information about the world and stuff, so you would definitely be smarter than you were previously. That would make sense.
Compared to who I was before I joined, I am a completely new person now.
I could agree to that.
It terrifies me to think she was even more airheaded than she is now.
To be fair, it would make sense, though, with her being locked inside her house the entire time. To be fair.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer.
Closer, but, I'm not sure how this fifth conversation's gonna go, honestly. From here on out, just how everything has gone so far, with all of the, other, social link / gumshoe gab stuff here. I am quite curious on the final one. But so far, all the fifth ones, except for Yakou, have, had a major, thing where they show that they trust us. And then Yakou was more of, preparing to say goodbye, in a way. Even though his was somewhat, trusting us and stuff like that, but it did have that air of saying goodbye because we get that after the chapter that he does die. So, I am quite curious what this final one's going to be. Because Halara's made me think hers was a death flag just because of how she was talking. But the thing is what we know about the homunculuses and everything in humans, that the skeletons we found can't be them. It just can't. Unless you turn into a homunculus just by being in Kanai Ward. But I don't think that's the case.
I am sorry to have called you here, Yuma.
We're at the Nailman clock tower. Huh. Pretty fitting place to be, honestly.
It's okay. What's wrong? You said you wanted to talk.
Yeah, what's going on, Fubuki?
Well, about that, perhaps, maybe...
Maybe what?
Yuma, I believe I may be in love with you, romantically.
Yuma did say something that made her think that earlier, during her chapter, to be fair. And she almost said yes to it. Or, well, she did say yes to it, but Yuma quickly, turned it around. and reiterated what he was trying to say. But this is coming out of nowhere, honestly, since that was in Chapter 3. It looks like Yuma's got no reaction to it, though.
Huh?
Oh no, he definitely does.
What?
Shinigami.
Oh? Did you not hear me? Then I shall say it again.
No, they definitely heard you.
I may be in love with you romantically, Yuma.
What makes you say that, though?
What?
Whenever I think of you, my heart feels warm and fuzzy. It's so anguished as well.
Huh. Really?
I thought maybe this is the romantic feeling that people keep talking about.
Not sure.
That's impossible! Totally impossible! There must be some confusion. Maybe your mind is playing tricks on you.
Honestly, with how Fubuki is, I'm not sure at this point.
Someone as attractive as you would never fall for someone like me.
Nah, he's not that bad. Yuma doesn't look bad at all, so I don't know what he's saying there, but okay.
Oh, do you really think so? I find you quite an attractive man, Yuma.
I can't believe you think that.
Interesting final conversation. Out of all the other ones, none of them were like this. This is more like a Persona social link than the other gumshoe cabs. Huh.
Hey! Quit being all happy about it!
Well, I can't really control Yuma here, Shinigami, so you gotta do something on your own here.
Well, I did not bring you here today to confess these feelings to you.
What did you bring us here to do, then?
Rather, if these truly are romantic feelings, I wish to thank you for them.
Thank us for them? No problem, I guess?
Huh? Thank me?
Yeah, that's interesting. Why would you thank us for that? Because that's something you don't normally, I guess, think before you confess kind of thing. Huh.
To tell you the truth,
The truth about what?
I have never had romantic feelings for anyone until now.
Really?
I have had an arranged fiancé ever since I was little.
Well, that's weird, but I think your family would be pretty mad about that if you go against that. But I don't like the idea of that kind of stuff, though, to be fair, because it's just weird, honestly.
Due to that, I subconsciously kept myself from falling for anyone.
I guess that makes sense.
Although I yearned for those feelings of love, I knew I must not harbor them.
That's sad.
I worried I would never fall in love. I have always felt such disappointment in myself because of it.
I can see where you're coming from for sure. That just sounds like it's unfortunate in general. But if the thing is that they were arranged, wouldn't they at least be somewhat, in connection with each other? It sounds like she never even met the person, which is weird, entirely weird. But it's still, though, just the idea of that kind of stuff is just weird in general. But it's weird that she never met them, in general.
But now, I have fallen for you, and can experience what it is like.
You're welcome.
So, I wish to thank you for helping me learn what romance is.
I'm happy you're happy, I guess.
That is all. I just wanted to give my thanks.
I don't know if what Yuma even has to say about that, honestly.
Oh, in that case, I'm glad I could help. I guess?
Honestly, I'm gonna second you on that one, I guess.
But wait, don't you have a fiancé?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Having feelings for someone else is just going to end up making you sad.
Yeah, I definitely would say that would definitely be the case.
Not at all. I have decided to talk to my father about turning down my arranged marriage.
Oh, good for you, honestly. That is really smart, honestly. I wouldn't accept it either.
Really? Are you sure? After all, wasn't that decided by the Clockford family?
Apparently, but I guess maybe Fubuki might have some control over it.
Of course, it is vital to defend our family traditions and to obey my parents. All my life, I have lived with that as my highest priority.
Really?
But now, I have decided to forge my own future.
Well, good for you, honestly. I say that's probably for the best, honestly, at this point.
I have been thinking about it ever since I started working with you all at the agency.
I see. She's choosing her own future.
It's pretty smart, honestly. I don't see anything to say for her to go against it. I say just do it.
I'm glad she can look at it that way. I'm happy for her. But even still...
Even still what?
I think you may be mistaken about your feelings for me.
Oh, I was about to say, I was wondering what he was worried about. Probably so. It is probably mistaken, but you never know. Maybe she does, actually.
Are you sure?
Well, you're not blushing. Usually, that would be like a good indicator in these types of games.
It is true I have zero experience with romance, so I cannot say for certain.
Fair enough.
Well then, how about this?
How about what?
Once I am able to confirm with certainty that my feelings are romantic in nature...
Well, now she is blushing, so I guess it is true. Huh.
Then, at that moment, will you hear my confession once more?
I guess we could. I just don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
My reasoning is because of Kurumi, because I'm pretty sure Yuma likes Kurumi. And it's, I'm pretty sure Kurumi likes Yuma. So it's kind of, an interesting, predicament with the fact that, now Fubuki's coming out of nowhere with that. That's all I can really say about that, pretty much.
It has to be a misunderstanding. There's no way you have feelings for me, Fubuki.
How do you know that?
True. How do you know that, Yuma? You don't have any proof. Nice try, though.
Please allow me to decide my own feelings.
Would be for the best, honestly. And her stare at him right now is definitely proving it.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, it's entirely her choice. To be fair, it is her and only her choice, to be fair. Completely fair and then honest opinion there. Yuma has no choice in this matter. Because she can decide if she wants to tell her feelings or not. It's literally her. But, I don't think Yuma's gonna say yes, though. Even if she does.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, sorry there, Yuma. No choice in this matter.
If she wants to confess to me again, then...
And I guess you just wait and see what happens, I guess.
Well, if you really do have romantic feelings for me, then... sure.
Yeah, I guess, if you really do, let Yuma know, I guess. That's the best way to really say it.
Very much.
You're welcome.
Please, consider your response for when I next confess my love for you.
It's probably gonna be no because of, Kurumi, but, it's possible, you never know, Yuma might change his mind.
Would that mean I become the heir to the Clockford legacy?
Probably, yeah.
No way, it has to be a misunderstanding.
I'm not entirely sure, honestly, on that one, bud. But I think you're locked in for now.
It has to be, right?
I don't think so, bud.
Master, you and Fubuki have forged the ultimate bond together.
I guess we have.
Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you.
Honestly, I'm not really sure what to say about this one, to be fair. But off we go, I guess. Huh. Definitely a interesting social link. That was more like a social link than, like from Persona games than it was a gumshoe gap, to be completely fair and honest, but interesting. Okay. Well, honestly, with that being said, we're now officially done with our gumshoe cabs. So, we're now entirely locked into the story from here on out. So, no more, side steps or stops in time to check on other things. We're fully locked in now, because we're in a mystery labyrinth. There's no, quest to do. And, well, let's be honest here, we're pretty much on the, cusp of figuring out everything with the mystery labyrinth when it comes to
Something else also happened in Kanai Ward 3 years ago, at the same time as Project Homunculus.
Exactly what Yuma's about to talk about, Project Homunculus. But I know we went through this a little bit in the last episode for like the first part of the Stoya district area, but we'll replay through it just to get a reminder, because we kind of had to leave like almost directly after we got here, because there was no, like, pause where we could actually, you know, leave before we went into this area, to be fair.
All the residents were forced to take a blood test.
They definitely were, and that blood test was definitely for, well, the Homunculus project.
Those mandatory blood tests had something to do with Project Homunculus?
They most definitely did.
Both took place 3 years ago, so I doubt they're unrelated. Which means the blood test wasn't checking for some contagious disease among the residents.
They needed to get the human cells that they needed in order to create more homunculuses. From what we know about the homunculuses, you need human cells to make a homunculus. And well, if you have enough of them, well, then you can make multiple of them. And with the fact that only the people that disappeared, like Kurumi's grandfather, didn't take the blood test, that would make sense why there's no replacement for them, because they didn't have the capability of replacing them, which is pretty scary, honestly. But the thing is where did the grandfather go, is the biggest question, because we don't know if he died, or left Kanai Ward, or what, or something else. Who knows? But it's definitely strange, though, for sure.
They were extracting DNA from everyone to see who was suitable for homunculus research.
They definitely were doing that for sure, whoever was suitable for it, but I don't think it was specifically suitable clientele, though.
If that's the case, then Project Homunculus is
pretty much the entirety here. But here we go with the flood again. But it is based off Chapter 3, so it makes a lot of sense. Okay, off we run. Oh.
This place seems familiar.
Yeah, it looks like Doya District. I wonder if we have to go through here.
We definitely do.
Okay then, let's go.
What's over on this other side? Kinda curious. They do let you up here, but you're definitely not supposed to go that way. It was worth a shot, honestly. But yeah, let's keep following Shinigami. Oh yeah, it's really flooding. Wow. Okay then. That's a pretty big flood. We definitely want to stay on the platforms here, because that's extremely flooded. Nothing like the Doya District chapter for Chapter 3.
Looks like you discovered something about Project Homunculus.
Well, a decent amount about it, but the thing is we still gotta piece together pieces of everything. Like, we have all the information we need to put everything together. It's just the fact that Yuma doesn't have all that pieced together yet is the problem.
Yeah, but
What's wrong?
Yeah, what's wrong, Yuma?
if it's what I think it is, then horrible things were done for this research.
Well, they did use human test subjects. We do know about that.
Pretty horrible here too.
Oh.
Master, concentrate!
What was created from the Project Homunculus? Kanai Ward residents, obviously. The other options don't make any sense.
I knew it. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, there's no way around that one. 100% Kanai Ward's residents were used in this experiment for sure. No way around it. Because of the fact of the, we saw the announcement in Kanai Ward when the rain stopped there that everyone needed to get inside their house. That wouldn't be said for no reason. If the sun would not affect them. But it's still weird why it happened, though, is the major problem.
Project Homunculus was an effort to create homunculi out of all the residents in Kanai Ward.
But why?
After Amaterasu was outdone by their rival, they started searching for suitable DNA in every possible way.
Yeah, they kind of just put everything on full blast, pretty much. From what we found out about Dr. Weska, the real Dr. Weska, and not the fake one we saw, and that was apparently the one in the lab.
That's what the blood tests were for. They created homunculi out of every citizen in town.
And every high-ranking official, it seems, too. Does that mean Yomi's also one? Because it doesn't sound like Yomi was one. I'm kind of curious about that, honestly. Or, like, any of the Peacekeepers. Because why would they turn themselves into homunculi? Because that wouldn't make any sense for Yomi to do that willingly.
If a few failed, all they needed was one successful specimen.
One successful specimen, you say? What do you mean by that? The one for the UG? Well, oh no, wait, no, they wanted to make one. Okay, I got it mixed up. Okay, I was about to say. But, yeah, I guess having multiple test subjects to make your own specimen would make sense, I guess.
The purpose behind Project Homunculus.
I don't know, I feel like there's more to that. That seems like a simplified version of what I think.
What happened after that?
Good question. With that logic, it doesn't add up to what I'm thinking. But, huh. Oh.
You better concentrate!
What happened as a result of Project Homunculus, the Unified Government, the Blank Week mystery. That would have to be that. For sure. We know that happened during that.
Project Homunculus was a failure. And as a result,
everyone forgot what happened the previous week.
Blank Week mystery occurred.
And that would definitely tie into everything.
The homunculi from the experiment were responsible for that event.
Obviously so. But they were blocked off, though. We know that. So, kind of curious on what they think of that.
I'll get straight to the point. Project Homunculus is a failure.
It definitely was.
Something unexpected occurred in our efforts to find suitable DNA.
And, yeah, they started turning into zombies, from what we know.
Although we successfully created homunculi, the results have been dubbed defective.
Completely.
The event Kurumi mentioned, where the city was ruined while everyone slept.
That is definitely interesting too, why the whole city was destroyed as well.
The destruction of the giant shutters of the lab where the experiment took place.
Yeah, what did that exactly?
All of that was caused when the defective homunculi attacked Kanai Ward.
Really, that's what happened? I didn't even piece that together. But, are you sure about that?
The entire city was destroyed by defective homunculi, and no one's ever said a thing about it?
I guess so.
What's the Blank Week mystery anyway? How can a whole week pass in a single night?
Good question.
Those are the mysteries we need to unravel to get to the heart of the Blank Week.
Yeah, that is definitely, if that is the case, then, they weren't replaced willingly. They were replaced forcefully because they couldn't do anything about it.
But I still haven't gathered my thoughts about it.
Yeah, there's definitely more to it for sure. But if that is true, I was slightly off on my theory. Oh, something's coming at us. Oh, what now, Yuma? We got a giant barrier in front of us now, and I don't think you can climb that in time with the flooding.
Master, the mystery labyrinth is getting testy! You have to give an answer now!
Apparently so.
Oh, but
Kind of answer, though, exactly.
Let's lay it all out together!
Okay, you get it started, Shinigami. Is it? Oh, it's Shinigami Barrel. I thought it was the scythe for a second. Okay, what kind of full-on deduction do we need to make? What's the question? Because I didn't think of a question in that timing, so I'm kind of curious on what the question really is. Okay, what do we got? We got a bunch of keys. But, let's see. Well, we got rid of all the keys that don't need to be there, thankfully, because of our abilities. All of Kanai Ward's residents were... Okay, I think I know exactly what that word is going to be. They were killed during the blank week, for sure. Okay. So that confirms the other statement, then, I guess. What did they do after going berserk from sunlight and attacking humans? Kanai Ward's defective homunculi were a result of an experiment, right? They definitely were. Now it's just to put the pieces together and wait for exactly what we're looking for. Wait a minute, there is no K, actually. Oh. Wait a minute. Okay, so it is, okay. I was thinking it was killed, but no, it's replaced. Okay, so it was exactly what I said. But, I thought it was supposed to be killed here, just because of how they were saying everything was going on. But yeah, replaced is definitely the answer here. Now we just need to put in the final piece, and there we go. Not too bad. So we were right on them being replaced from the start, before even getting in the mystery labyrinth. But it was basically before we got in here, from all the information we were given beforehand. But not too bad. It definitely confirms that, though. But we kind of could already figure that out beforehand due to the pink and the red blood, to Kurumi's reaction after the Rainmaker stopped, to even how the actual, like, homunculi also reacted outside of that. But up the stairs we go, and I guess we're heading into our next location. Oh, we're on top of the one building from I forget their name of their group. But we're on top of the Resistance's base, exactly, or the Rebellion's base, specifically, where we found Shashi's body at the, pretty much like the beginning of everything that started during Chapter 3, when we found him dead up here. But, okay, well, that was definitely good information to find out. But where do we go from here, though? You okay,
they were
Yuma?
all swapped during the blank week mystery.
Apparently. So they were all eaten alive and then replaced by the people that ate them, pretty much.
Right,
Huh.
but who or what was swapped?
The people.
Everyone in Kanai Ward.
I don't think everybody. I think there is maybe some people that aren't, but I could be wrong. Maybe Director Yomi and the Peacekeepers also were replaced. I guess that would also be possible, but I'm not entirely sure, though.
Each resident was replaced by their homunculus. It happened during the blank week mystery.
Apparently so.
Everyone?
Yep, everybody indeed, including our two biggest allies here that were actually in Kanai Ward to begin with, Kurumi and Yakou, which is kind of scary to think about.
Come on, that couldn't have happened.
I don't know, that blast door being busted open the way that it was, if that wasn't an explosion, I think it's definitely possible that an enraged homunculus could do that. Because that's quite terrifying.
It's impossible.
Nah, my Mystery Phantom, I highly doubt that.
It's ridiculous to think they all could be swapped with homunculi.
No, it's possible. I came to that conclusion before getting here, so it's definitely possible.
Nothing but a fantasy!
Mm-hmm.
Which is the real master?
Obviously, the one next to you.
It's me!
Thank you,
The
Yuma.
Blank Week mystery has nothing to do with homunculi. Your deduction is wrong.
Yeah, sure, it's definitely nothing to
Everything
do with them.
you say is wrong.
I still don't get how you're our mystery phantom, because I'm gonna be honest, you think nothing like Yuma. But good try on trying, but you're definitely wrong here, mystery phantom.
Master's getting closer!
I just said I'm the real one.
Yeah, we're definitely the real one here, Shinigami. Okay, what is our mystery phantom gonna try and have us disprove here, other than the blank week mystery not being connected? Because it's definitely connected. The major problem is which piece of evidence proves that. I think it's the one that Kurumi gave us about the blank week mystery. Specifically. We're repelling, okay. So we're not going directly in yet. We'll just wait for them to let us. Don't think that's where we repel yet. No, they definitely could have. I'm gonna wait for... Oh, wait, they can hit you? Okay. I'm surprised they can, honestly. Doubt that one, but if you say so. Nah, definitely not made up, bud. Oh, wow. He's really mad at us, though. But we are getting a lot of noise and points out of this, though. Although I don't think levels matter after this. Okay. I'm guessing when he says impossible, maybe.
There should be a contradiction somewhere. You just gotta find it and repel it.
Okay. I'll try. But where exactly is the real question. Because I didn't really see one, because there's multiple wrong statements. They couldn't have been swapped. I don't know, well, I tried to swing, but the noise in front of me messed me up. Yeah, it was the second one, I thought so. We'll read what they have to say, though. Dang it, that wasn't it. Okay, it's just repeating itself. Okay. Same statement as it normally is when you mess up there on that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a second statement. The stuff can mess you up sometimes. But there we go. But yeah, I didn't know the noise could actually hurt you. It never normally does. But I guess this is a difference.
There's proof they switched.
Yep, more than enough proof.
No, that's a lie. It's all made up.
Yeah, sure, Yuma. But what exactly do we got? Okay, we got a couple things. Let's see what we got exactly. Because it's going to be specifically talking about them, I think. So, let's see here. Restricted area of Kanai Ward where zombie-like creatures wander. Definitely not going to be that one. When defective homunculi encounter sunlight, they become extremely stressed and lose control. That would more than likely be it because of how Kurumi fell over. And then what's the last one? Vivia's investigation yielded this report about homunculus characteristics. It describes physical peculiarities and details concerning memory. Both of these could work, honestly. It depends on how he says it. But we'll hold on to this one for now.
Swapped with homunculi?
No, they definitely were, bud. You can say that all you want, but there's nothing but proof about it.
Something else caused the blank week.
Yeah, what's that? Do you have the answer?
Everyone was drugged and knocked out.
You don't have any proof about that. Just because Kurumi said it doesn't mean it's true.
Fell asleep.
No, they definitely didn't.
So, there's a gap in their memories.
Well, actually, technically they did.
That's why the memories connect across that week.
Let me think about that one. No, this one. Really? That directly connects to that, but okay.
But their memories are connected. I don't think there's a contradiction in that statement. Instead, let's focus on figuring out why their memories would be connected. Let's review the solution keys.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's definitely the second one. I see. A homunculus retains all the memories of the original when the DNA was first extracted.
Then
In other words, there would be no difference between the memories of the homunculi and the other original people.
Okay,
Residents were swapped with homunculi?
so basically,
Impossible!
that would be the first one then.
Something else caused the blank week.
Okay, we'll let him figure out exactly how he wants to throw this. Because I'm waiting for exactly
Every resident
where he brings it up. They did fall asleep, which we know that that would be caused by that, but it doesn't say sleep in it, even though we do know it seems to put them in a sleep-like trance for the ones that aren't fully defective, / have died or did something similar. Okay, sorry for the cut there. For some reason, I don't know why, but it started in the last episode, or at least that's when I noticed it. For some reason, my camera has been freaking out recently, and well, I had to fix it for you guys. But I think it's something to do with me accidentally loosening it at some point, because recently I did move my router, which is right behind the wire for my camera. So I think I must have loosened it in between last episode and the previous one. So between 43 and 44, I must have accidentally messed it up a little bit. It should be working though. Now I made sure to re-put everything in and out just to make sure everything's back to order, but it's unfortunate that it's happening because it shouldn't be. But I think we're definitely on the right track on the homunculus characteristics though. I think we're just gonna let them go all the way through, because what they're saying, although it seems like we should be able to swing at some of them,
Something else caused the
I
blank
think we just haven't seen the right one yet, more than likely.
Everyone was drugged and knocked out.
So we'll let Mystery Phantom Yuma kind of figure out what he wants to say real quick, and then see where we really should be swinging,
So, there's a gap in their memories.
while also grabbing any kind of
That's why the
points we
memories
can
connect across that week.
to build up some more noise up for later.
That's impossible if they were swapped.
Wouldn't be impossible.
If they were swapped, they'd be different beings.
Well, they are. Wouldn't that be the case?
Their memories would be totally different too.
Nope, that is completely wrong. That's our answer.
Rise through this mystery.
Okay, so it was hiding at the very back. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. They hide in the middle. So that makes a lot more sense why we couldn't find it.
Contains all the memories their original had when their DNA was first extracted.
Which is indeed true, because of the fact that that's how it works.
That's why the specimens created by the experiment also have memories from before the blood test.
Which is also true.
It explains how their memories are linked.
And how they're still the same person, even though they've been swapped.
No, your reasoning is obviously wrong.
You say it's wrong, but there's enough proof that says it's right. How come we were able to rebuttal you? Ooh, we got some more. Okay.
They can inherit.
Inherit memories, you say. Let's see here. Homunculus research. I'm gonna say, well, even though if you open them, they actually give you more information, I'm gonna say that we'll just hold on to the basic. Yakou's investigation yielded this report about homunculus research. When defective homunculi encounter sunlight, they become extremely stressed and lose control. The confidential project took place 3 years ago. I feel like defective homunculus would be the next one, if we were to swing anything. So we'll hold on to that, and then just remember what we have about them. Because we know that there is a way to tell the difference between them. There wouldn't be a gap in their memories. That's not the truth, though, buddy. Nice try, though. There definitely would be, because of the sunlight messing with them. Putting them...
Homunculi go berserk in sunlight. They lose all sense of reason as well as their memories.
Well, not totally. From what we could see with Kurumi, if they're not completely messed up, they go into a sleep-like trance. So we're not entirely sure there, unless Kurumi's different. Because she could be, I guess, but why'd she go to sleep instead of going enraged, is the real question, I guess. Because we didn't see the people in Kanai Ward, how they reacted. They just ran inside their houses. But,
The sunlight made them go wild as soon as they were born, wiping their memories during that time.
which is indeed the case.
There was sunlight shining through the lab. Maybe it was to test if the creatures had overcome that weakness.
That would be a reason for why they were able to break out of their enclosures and stuff. And if they do have super strength, like what we're saying about the blast door, they broke out of their containment pretty easily after the sunlight hit them.
The experiment failed.
Completely.
In a previous experiment, a defective homunculus was exposed
To sunlight. Okay, so we know exactly what that word is now. They were exposed to sunlight and died. Okay.
Trying to adjust for it worked against us. Made them even more violent, and
So sunlight made them even more violent. I don't think sunlight's the same word at that next part, though.
They went berserk and attacked Kanai Ward.
Maybe sunlight and then killed? Maybe would be the second part. Berserk and killed. But, or well attacked is what Yuma's saying, but I would think that it would be killed in that sentence, normally.
When they eventually returned to their senses, their memories were reset to before the blood test.
Yep, and from that information that makes more sense instead of just replacing them like we thought originally.
An entire week had passed by then.
And they had no memories of what happened.
But since none of them remembered what happened, the week felt like a single day to them.
And they felt like it was a conspiracy. And it became taboo, and they were scared to even talk about it because they had no idea what happened.
That's what caused the blank week mystery?
Apparently so, but since the Mystery Labyrinth has always brought us into the right path, for the most part, that definitely has to be the case. Our Mystery Phantom's pretty happy about that. He's just laughing at us. You okay there, Yuma? I don't know, I feel like you're definitely not us. You just...
What's with
Huh.
him? Why is he laughing?
Honestly, I'm not even sure. He definitely doesn't act like us, that's for sure. Weird. But, he's laughing about something. You okay, Yuma? Strange. Well, further in we go, I guess towards Chapter 4 now. Because we went through Chapter 3. So the next option would have to definitely be Chapter... Oh no, we're falling out of the sky. Never mind. I'm not sure where we are then.
I don't believe it.
Don't believe what?
Everyone in Kanai Ward is a homunculus?
Apparently.
Yeah, there's no mistake. This city is a city of homunculi.
Huh.
Even the Flatty? And Fuzzhead too? Everybody?
Yep, completely everybody.
But no one mentioned anything like that. How'd they manage to hide it?
They had no idea.
I don't think any of them knew they'd been replaced by homunculi either. That's because they lost those memories when they emerged as homunculi and went wild.
And what happened to the original residents? The ones who first lived in Kanai Ward?
Well, they're dead.
I think they're gone.
Or they could have left.
What do you mean, gone?
They're either dead or some escaped, I would say.
The defective homunculi went berserk and attacked Kanai Ward. The original residents.
Were, probably eaten alive, yeah. Probably. So, the real Yakou got munched, completely down. Which would also make sense why we could hear him if he was already in the spirit world, right? That adds up to what Vivia was confused about. Because that was the real Yakou telling us that. Huh. That adds up, actually. That's cool. That's actually cool if you look back on that, you can actually kind of figure out what was really going on there. I didn't think about that until now, but that makes more sense why we could hear him. Because Vivia was really confused about that.
Died. All of them.
Yeah, they're more than likely, yeah.
They're all dead?
Yep.
That explains how the homunculi replaced their originals after they returned to their senses.
The major problem is, why are the homunculi killing each other, though? Because even if they do have the same memories, why would they go berserk in other ways? Unless that would have happened normally.
By the time the homunculi regained consciousness, the originals were gone.
Yeah, nothing but gone.
With the exception of those like Kurumi's grandfather, who refused the blood test and vanished completely.
Yeah, they more than likely escaped, I think. I would hope, at least.
That's because those who didn't have their DNA extracted had no homunculus to replace them.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So if they were killed without a substitute in place, they were considered missing.
Apparently so.
This is the tragedy that befell Kanai Ward 3 years ago. That's the truth behind the blank week mystery.
And nothing but the truth, too. Pretty dark truth, but it fits this place, honestly. With everything going on in Kanai Ward, this is like the perfect answer for why it is the way that it is, honestly. Since, honestly, it's a dark place, and a dark story and a dark past to it makes even more sense. Oh, Kanai Ward's starting to crumble, I think. Oh yeah, it definitely is. So this must have been our world crumbling apart that Vivia was talking about earlier in the last chapter. But he meant it during chapter 4, but...
Destroyed it.
Destroyed what exactly? Your vision of it? Because, I don't think that really matters at this point.
You exposed the mystery behind the city.
And I don't think that's really a major bad thing, honestly. Because even if we do expose the mystery, it's not like anything happened to the city here. Now, it already happened.
You are an uninvited guest here. You're the enemy.
You may say that, but are you sure about that?
But it's not over yet. You still haven't reached the truth behind this city.
I think I have.
I won't let it happen. I will shelter the mystery of Kanai Ward.
You do that, buddy. Still don't understand how we're stopping the truth, even though I really do feel like we are pursuing it. Subconsciously and consciously. It's weird that we have a mystery phantom still. In the first place. Okay, well, let's see what we got here.
I'm telling you.
Let's see what we got first before he starts flinging stuff at us. We got the doctor's confession video, homunculus characteristics, and the memo on the corpse. Well, the memo on the corpse is just for number 1, right? So I would think the confession video would be the best one. The video recorded by the doctor, he talks about his homunculus research. At the end of the recording, he's shown being killed by an out-of-control defective homunculus. So I think that would be our proof. For whatever he throws here. Yeah, sure. We have enough proof that he was replaced. Nah, I got... No, that is definitely a swingable. Okay. If you say so, that's definitely more than enough.
There's no definitive proof of the switch, so I don't think you can refute that statement. But what about the solution key? It's a video of the doctor at the time of Project Homunculus's experiments.
Yeah, the doctor was leaving a record of the defective homunculi after the experiment's failure. and was killed by those homunculi.
Right.
Right there, someone who's been killed by a homunculus. This is the proof we need. I guess we just have
Like I
to
keep telling you,
wait for him to say someone was
swapping places
killed.
is just in your head.
But that says exactly what we tried to
Whoever
say.
proof a switch even took place.
Okay. But that's literally a swingable. I would say that should be a
Zero
secondary one.
evidence for
But there's enough evidence for it.
that. The homunculi were destroyed after the experiment,
No, they definitely weren't.
at the hands of the researchers who saw failures.
No, still not.
That's why it's impossible.
But I'll wait for you. Because he
Homunculi
might
would
have it
attack
later
the
in.
city.
No, they definitely did.
No one was killed by the homunculi.
There it is. That's where we need. There you go, buddy. We just needed to specifically say nobody was. Okay. Nice try, but first and last one definitely should have counted.
Video journal discussing the conclusions of Project Homunculus.
Yep, we have enough proof that there is indeed someone that died and then reappeared later.
It clearly shows the doctor dying at the hands of a defective homunculus who went out of control.
Yep, nothing but proof.
But we met the doctor at Amaterasu's lab, even though he should have been dead already.
Yeah, he shouldn't even have been there in the first place if he was already dead.
The fact that we met him after he died proves he and the other citizens were all replaced by homunculi.
Yep, and, well, that proves all we need to know when it comes to the homunculuses, too. Because why would they randomly be replaced after they're dead, out of nowhere, if they had no specific reason to be replaced in the first place? But, nice try there, Mystery Phantom. You want to give up yet? Or are you going to keep trying to stop us? Because Yuma's definitely not holding back this entire time, so I still don't get why you're trying.
I see. So the doctor at the lab was also a swapped out homunculus.
Yep, he was definitely for sure one.
That's why he didn't know about the results of the experiment.
Because he, well, wasn't alive to see the end of it, because the blood test was taken beforehand.
And also why he knew nothing about the blank week mystery.
Well, yeah, that too.
He didn't even remember the terrible things he did.
Nope, not at all.
He caused the city's greatest tragedy. But maybe what little conscience he had left urged him to leave evidence.
Well, it's good that he did, because if he didn't, I think we would definitely be messed up here. For sure, because that was like our key point on proving something indeed happened. If we didn't have that, it would definitely hurt us in the end. Because that was when I first really started noticing that there was a major thing to look into. Because him being dead twice makes no sense. So that was when we first started figuring out that, well, the homunculuses are indeed, actually in the city. But it's interesting though. Nonetheless, if we didn't have that, I think we wouldn't be able to go any further just because of that.
No, not yet.
Not yet, you say.
I refuse to give up.
Okay, what you got for us? You can try again, but I don't think you're gonna win here. No, it looks like we're out of the RDM. Okay. Well, you're refusing to give up, but looks like you're letting us continue.
I have to protect Kanai Ward!
You're not really protected much, buddy.
Why does the other master want to protect Kanai Ward so badly?
Honestly, that's a good question. Yuma says that, but the thing is that's on a different level, seemingly. Huh.
You don't fully understand it yet. You know nothing about Kanai Ward.
What do you mean?
What do you know about its darkness?
What do you know?
Master, watch out!
What is the reason for the unending rain in Kanai Ward?
Master,
The rainy season, definitely not. To power the plants, to block out the weakness. I was gonna press Y there, but I was more trying to make sure of, those were going by a lot faster. But thankfully we can just do this real quick. We just gotta wait for the second bullet. Okay, but that's not too bad. Just wait for the One more, and swing to block out the homunculus' weaknesses. There you go, buddy. Keep trying. But you're not going to stop us.
Covered Kanai Ward to block out sunlight, which homunculi are vulnerable to.
And there wouldn't have been an announcement if there was no reason to have them stay out in the sun or not. So you can keep trying there, buddy, but you're not getting very far now at this point.
The homunculi stopped their attack thanks to the clouds covering the city.
Yep, thanks to the clouds indeed. Oh, he's running. Oh, it looks like you are giving up, buddy.
Master, don't let him get away! You gotta finish this!
Yeah, we really do.
That hypocrite. I'll expose him for who he is.
Yep, big ol' liar.
We're not done yet. The city's darkness goes even deeper.
Where do Kanai End's dead ends end up? The rural village. Obviously.
The dead in Kanai Ward are transported to the abandoned village, a restricted area.
We know this from before the chapter, though, so I'm surprised that was even a question.
Whenever a defective homunculus revives, its intelligence decreases, turning it into a zombie.
Yep. Although, exactly why that defect is a thing, I'm kind of curious what made that defect a thing in the first place. The sunlight and the and their intelligence lowering to the point of a zombie. I am quite curious on why that would happen.
The city would have been overrun with zombified homunculi if the bodies were left alone.
True.
That's why the bodies have been getting sent to the abandoned village.
To get them completely out of the rest of the area. But the thing is if they do turn zombified, it's not like they're going to eat the other homunculuses, because the homunculuses don't eat each other. So they don't really add up there, to be fair.
Peacekeepers always tried to get rid of the bodies as fast as possible. Did they know they'd turn into zombies?
Unless it was to make it so they didn't know that they were going to turn into zombies. Maybe. To just keep the illusion that they are still human. That could also be it, too.
No, they were probably just following orders. They were told that bodies in this city rot quickly.
Which is true.
The people of Kanai Ward, including the peacekeepers, didn't know that they're all homunculi. It must also be the reason why they were so strict about keeping this place isolated from the outside world.
Yeah, that would make sense. And that would also make sense why none of the civilians were told, because they think they're human, and if they were to see zombies walking around town, they would quickly realize that there's something wrong with them. So they are somewhat being protected from themselves, in a way, I guess. So technically, our Phantom is telling the truth that he's trying to protect them. But is that really protecting them at the same time, to be fair? Because if they did know the truth,
We've got you now. There's nowhere to run, Master.
it would mess them up, I think.
I told you, that's not me! You think that's enough to defeat me?
It should be.
You think that's enough to expose Kanai Ward's darkness?
I would think so. What is wrong with you?
More! Kanai Ward's darkness goes far deeper than that!
Is this us with our memories or something? Because, what is that? What is the source of the nutrition for Kanai Ward? Well, we know that one. It's the meat buns. That's easy. That's really easy. But we don't know what we were like before we lost our memories, to be fair. So maybe
That's
this
right.
is...
The people in Kanai Ward love their meat buns. You know what they're made of, don't you?
Yeah, we do. But maybe this is how we act when our true memories are connected to the mystery phantom, I guess. So it's connecting both Yuma's, like, adventure here with his past, maybe. Or maybe not, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just a rogue mystery phantom, but it's still interesting, though, nonetheless. Yeah, we definitely know what's in those meat buns.
The main source of nutrients for homunculi is human flesh. That's why everyone craved those meat buns so much.
Which is absolutely disgusting. Warning. Oh yeah, this.
Homunculi are predisposed to eating human flesh in order to maintain the artificial organic synthesis in their cells.
Which we know.
Currently, there are no alternate sources of nutrition, and they grow sick if they do not consume human flesh.
Well, that's not true. Didn't we see, like, something... When we were following that person that we couldn't find, that was following us around and disappeared, didn't we find a ramen shop that people were eating at? So, they don't strictly need to eat meat buns, or... Unless they could just eat anything, I guess, but... I thought that they needed to eat those things. I guess if they eat a meat bun, they can eat anything else, I guess, but... That is something to question about, because we did specifically see people eating at that ramen shop. Kind of curious what was going on there. And we never even got a conclusion on what was going on with the person following us. We don't even know who it was or where they even went, either.
That's a primal instinct homunculi can never defy.
Unless it was Makoto the entire time following us. Which I guess that's a good guess, but I'm not really sure.
What are you? Mystery phantoms are supposed to prevent mysteries from being exposed.
Yeah, true.
And yet, it's like you're guiding me to the truth.
That is, actually, yeah, that is the case. That is weird for the mystery phantom to be doing that.
It's not just the meat buns.
Oh, it is all the food here. Okay, then. Well, I guess that confirms that.
Residents of Kanai Ward also have other characteristics. Of course, I'm sure you've already noticed them.
What do you mean by that?
A bomb?
Yep, this is definitely based off of Chapter 3. Time for remote detonation again.
He's trying to boom kill you, but you can defuse it by solving the mystery.
What's our thing we need to answer here, though?
You've seen it time and time again. You should already know this.
Already know what exactly?
They're physical abnormalities. It's another part of Kanai Ward's darkness.
Physical abnormalities, you say?
Physical abnormalities?
Oh, okay. We know exactly what that is then. I got it.
Let's go, Master. We gotta join hands and defeat my other master.
It's what we were talking about earlier with their blood, I think. I think that's what he's talking about. Because we specifically said their blood is different. Because we saw Desahiko's blood being red, and then the blood on the floor on the right before you get to the outside of the major secret lab, or Dr. Weska's secret lab in the restricted zone, is painted in red blood all over the floor. So it's definitely got to be that, what they're talking about, I think. Let's see. Based on the Shinigami barrel, we'll know for sure. Just based on what our selections are for letters, and as well as how big the word is, to be fair, but sometimes they double up letters. Well, let's see. What do we got? Memo on the corpse and homunculus characteristics. Okay, so this was the one with that Desahiko had on his person, I'm pretty sure. Then the memo on the corpse. Which one is the memo on the corpse? Trying to think. Oh, that's the one inside the frozen area. Or the freezer. There's something special about the blood, the smell, taste, and color. Taste. We saw lots of bodies in the city, but something felt off. Kanai Ward's residence? Pink is definitely the word there. Yep, pink. So I was right on their blood being completely different. But it did say that there was different characteristics in their blood. And that's how we were able to figure things out after Dr. Ruska. Finding out that he died twice, to be fair. But not too bad. There's our physical abnormality. So there was a complete reason for their blood being pink in this game. And because we never dealt with a person that was a real human that died in the investigation, we never saw red blood outside of inside an investigation. Only during the talking to the other members, specifically Desahiko. Huh. That's interesting, though. That's definitely interesting. But, where do we go from here?
Huh? Pink blood?
Yeah, pink blood indeed.
Hey! Everyone did have pink blood! I think I got too used to it.
I'm surprised you wouldn't notice that right away with you being the god of death and stuff.
Now that I think about it, it's really abnormal.
Yeah, with the fact that red blood does exist in this universe, and it's not the Danganronpa universe where blood is pink. But, that would be kind of interesting, though, if these games were somehow connected and Danganronpa was, all the people are homunculuses. That would be kind of interesting, but we know they die in Danganronpa, so that completely... Well, we already could tell this wasn't in the same universe, just, it's made by the same people, is basically a successor to it. But, that is kind of interesting. So, it is supposed to be red, though, in general. But that's cool that there's a reason for it in this game. Because in Danganronpa, I think it was just for, getting past censors, I think. If I remember correctly from what I heard about that game. But interesting, though. Really interesting.
Blood being pink instead of red is obviously strange.
Yeah, nothing but completely strange.
That's right. From the very beginning, I thought something was off. Since I first saw a corpse in the city...
He did say, when we first found our first body, he did say it was, that, it was his first time seeing blood, too. Like, after someone was dead. So, he wouldn't know right away. So he'd just kind of think, oh yeah, this person's dead, instead of thinking, oh, the blood's weird.
I had my suspicions about the color of the blood here.
But never anything concrete.
Is that a real corpse? It's not some mannequin, is it?
He did say it like that, to be fair. This was during the Nail Man.
This blood is real? How? Why?
Oh, that's why he said it that way? Huh. So he did think of it, it's just that there was no reason for him to, think about it further. Huh.
I figured it was due to Shinigami haunting me. Like it was somehow changing the way I see things.
I guess that's a fair assumption.
Shinigami, you don't feel anything after seeing this body?
Nope, she definitely didn't. She was just happy to see it.
You're asking me how I feel about death?
But if he said it a different way, she probably would have noticed it right away.
Well, let me tell ya, this is totally ordinary.
And because she said it was ordinary, Yuma didn't think anything of it. That makes a lot of
I was
sense.
just saying there was nothing odd about there being a corpse.
Huh. Well, if we figured that out a long time ago, that would have been over and done with. I'm surprised nobody else in our group said anything about that. About blood being different, either, to be fair.
The color of human blood doesn't matter to me.
Fair enough.
But why didn't the other master detectives mention anything about the color?
That is a good question. That's exactly what I'm now curious about.
It wasn't mentioned at all while I was investigating crime scenes with Halara.
Yeah, that is weird.
Oh, right! Maybe...
Maybe what?
The rain sure has changed things around here. Both the city and the people, too.
And the people, too.
Supposedly, there's something in the rain that messes with our bodies and the environment. But it's all hearsay.
I guess, yeah, Yakou did say that. So maybe they just didn't think about it. Huh.
It could be because Chief Yakou said the rain affects things.
I guess that would kind of change their thinking and not really think about that kind of stuff. Huh.
In fact, maybe it wasn't just the master detectives. Chief Yakou and the other people in town.
Just thought it was normal. I guess, yeah, I guess that adds up, I guess.
Maybe they all believed it too. For example, they could have said there were some chemical properties in the rain that causes blood to change color.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what Yakou said, though, during that, without specifically stating it.
In that case, people wouldn't find it strange that their blood was pink.
Huh. Okay. Definitely a interesting thing to think about, for sure.
Yes, homunculi have pink blood. Maybe they were made that way to differentiate them from their originals.
Maybe.
Now, you're finally seeing the big picture. I've been waiting for this!
Waiting exactly for what?
Master's mystery phantom sure doesn't seem scared of these mysteries being solved.
True, it doesn't seem that way. Huh.
Anyway, we gotta beat him! Otherwise, you'll get caught in its destruction!
We definitely will, for sure.
Fine. Let's end this.
Let's end this.
Time to expose the truth of Kanai Ward's ultimate secret.
Already?
It's over!
I don't know, man. I don't think it's over just yet.
You? You think you can do it?
I definitely think I can do something, at least. Wait, what? We're already at the deduction? Really? Really? Okay. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. We're barely into this mystery labyrinth, or at least I thought we were. But we're already at a conclusion, apparently. Well, we know who the culprit is, but... Huh. I did not think we were that close to a deduction, though. Okay, then. Well... what we can do is definitely put things together. What was being researched, obviously that wouldn't go there. This would probably go here. What did Makoto create to stop the defective homunculi? Obviously the rain cloud generator. And then what do we unlock? Dr. Weska. What goes here? Not that one. What was used to excuse the collective of DNA? Who directed Project Homunculus? Obviously Dr. Weska. And then that unlocks everything from here. So we could put this over here for blood tests. Okay, not too bad. Is that Aiko, by the way? That makes me think of Aiko, because the obviously we could see the class suits and stuff like that for that. But let's hear what was being researched. Obviously the homunculi. And then finally, sunlight is our final thing to put in here. For what makes him go berserk. Oh, look at that, we can see. That's kind of crazy. Dr. Weska seeing his homunculi trying to eat him. Huh. But that's pretty crazy, though. Huh. But, yeah, definitely what causes defective homunculi to go berserk. Obviously the sunlights. And with that being said, after the deduction denouncement, I'll see you guys right after that. We'll be preparing to end off today's episode directly after that, because we're gonna have to, because the next one I think is definitely gonna be probably a pretty big one, honestly. I don't know if it's gonna be 2 or 3 episodes or 1. I don't even know what's gonna happen in the next one, but who knows at this point, because deduction being this early, I feel like there's still more, honestly. But with that being said, I'll see you guys right after the deduction announcement. Here you go.
Recaps out of kindness, you know. I'm just saying, it'd be nice to get a little appreciation.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was all a part of your process or something.
Anyway, time to boom kill this mystery phantom.
Let's expose all the facts and finish this once and for all. It's time for the very last deduction denouement. It all started 10 years ago. The UG tasked both its own research facility and Amaterasu Corp to conduct homunculus research.
They were trying to create an immortal army of homunculi that could just come back to life, right? If that happened, the death gods would be out of a job!
By having the two organizations compete with each other, they hoped to rush development along. And it was the UG's research facility that managed to create a homunculus first. That drove Amaterasu into a panic. So, 3 years ago, Project Homunculus was conducted under Dr. Weska's direction.
Acting like they were just testing for a contagious disease, they took blood from all the people in Kanai Ward. They were turning the town upside down, trying to find DNA that would help them make homunculi. They got beat to the punch and were rushing for results. Huge death flag, if you ask me.
Ultimately, the experiment was a failure. And their efforts resulted in nothing more than a mass of defective homunculi. Defective homunculi have two fatal flaws. 1. They revive after death with fully repaired bodies, but their minds deteriorate and they become zombies.
2. Sunlight whips them into a bloody frenzy, but they won't remember what they did afterwards. It's kinda like when an alcoholic corporate drone with a lot of pent-up stress takes a picture at the company party.
I'm not sure that's really the same. Anyway, the newly created defective homunculi were exposed to sunlight and immediately went on a rampage. They attacked Kanai Ward and murdered all of the residents.
A certain masked man then created a rain cloud generator by making some extreme modifications to a public bathhouse. He covered the whole city with those clouds.
The rain clouds blocked out the sun and brought the defective homunculi out of their berserk state. Their memories reverted back to when their blood had been drawn 1 week before.
The blank week mystery refers to the period where they went out of control and lost their memories. So basically, Kanai Ward's ultimate secret is...
3 years ago, the defective homunculi of all Kanai Ward residents murdered their human counterparts. Exposed to sunlight at the very moment of their creation, they went berserk and wiped out the entire city. Rain clouds then blocked out the sun, and their human memories returned.
The defective homunculi have no idea they're not human. And they continue on to this day in this land of never-ending rain. They just live their lives, happily munching away on human flesh-filled bones.
The pink blood wasn't caused by the rain. It's conclusive evidence that they were actually homunculi.
This is the
Truth behind Kanai Ward's ultimate secret!
Huh. Well, that was pretty cool for figuring all that out, though. Huh. Oh, well, there he is. I was wondering when he'd show up. We saw you moving in third person, so definitely was wondering when he'd show up. That's why I felt like it was not anywhere near close to over. But the denouement apparently is how you say that. I thought that was denouncement this entire time.
You?
Hey, Makoto. Long time no see. And honestly, this is where we're going to be ending off today's episode. It's perfect, because honestly, with the biggest mysteries out of the way, when it comes to the homunculi, we still have one major question mark still staining this city. Well, being Makoto himself. And I feel like we have a little bit left of this place to go before it's truly over. But the thing is, what are we going to end up finding out about him and why he's done everything he's done? Because he's a walking mystery. We don't know who he is. We can make deductions on the fact that we made a theory that he's more than likely the homunculus for number 1. But the thing is number 1 looked nothing like him. And they're supposed to be perfect. So we don't know what's really going on there. Unless it's him younger, which is what I said before about that. But honestly, other than that, yeah, it's nothing but blanks. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep being spooky. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.